What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be installing something I've actually had for about a month or two, and between everything that's gone on in my life, between selling the Chevy, buying the OBS, then OBS breaking down, death in the family, selling the OBS, getting COVID, I haven't been able to install it. So I want to give a huge, I mean absolutely huge shout out to Auxbeam. So Auxbeam reached out to me a couple months ago and realized I had posted videos and everything of their products in the past. Guys, I have stood behind Auxbeam for 5 years now. Good 4 or 5 years now. I have ran Auxbeam bulbs and a lot of stuff up until the last year when I've had other companies reach out and send me bulbs. But before ever getting sent bulbs, Auxbeam was what I bought. You can go back on the channel. I've got videos installing Auxbeam headlights, all types of stuff on my truck from Auxbeam, and that was way before I had ever been in contact with them. I just liked the products, I liked the company, everything like that, and I bought it with my own money. And then eventually you guys made my channel grow enough. We posted enough videos and everything like that. You guys were liking videos, sharing videos, and Auxbeam saw. And now Auxbeam has partnered with the channel, and right here we have an 8-gain switch panel. So if you guys have been following the channel for really about a year, I had made my own switch panel in the Chevy. It wasn't anything super fancy, didn't have any crazy relays or anything like that, but it was a switch panel that everything was connected to one power source and all the switches were intertwined. So when you hit one, there was already power going to each one, and you could just click on and off like that. This is a lot more fancy, a lot cooler looking, and we're gonna jump in and get it unboxed right now so you guys can see. So when you open the box up, you have your instruction manual, everything that comes with. You've got all your different stickers for the switch panel itself. So we'll set these off to the side, and this tells you about it. Now they don't only have the 8-gang, they also have a 6 one. So the 8-gang is just the amount of buttons that there is. They also have one that is 6, so if you want it a little bit smaller or anything like that. But this tells you all about the panel, all the contents, how everything is ran, all your different mounting locations, different mounting brackets, the different accessories that you can use with it, lighting, all types of stuff. So what I like is really cool about this is you have all these different options for anything. So like even like just a welder. So say you have a welding rig, you work pipeline, whatever, you can have a switch going to your welder, your PA system, GPS, external fans, grill, heated seats, passenger heated seats, underglow. You have a second battery, roof rack, you have a fridge, anything. You have all these different options for lights. And then this is the switch panel itself. You've got your on and off in the center, your different switches over here, and this is just controlled by this little plug right here. And this is where it gets all fancy. So this is your basically like a, not a bus bar, but it's called a circuit control box. So you're gonna bring all your wires in to here, to here, to here, to here, flip over this side, to here, to here, and then you have your power going straight to your battery, your negative, and this is your accessory wire, and then this plugs into the switch panel itself. So these have to be somewhat close. They don't have to be super close, as you get an extension wire right here. So you can mount this probably up underneath your hood somewhere, run this inside the cab of your truck, and go to this. But what I like about this is you have your watertight seal, because you've got your O-ring right here, and they come with different mounting brackets, so you can mount things in different locations. I'm going to be mounting this on my dash so it's easier to get to. I'm probably going to use some double-sided tape on it, just as I don't want to drill any holes in my dash. They send you some extra fuses, even more extra fuses, because there is a inline fuse tap right here for your accessory wire. And you also have, I've already been through this, you have your power wire, and they send you extra fuses for this just in case you mess something up on here. So this is going to run from the circuit box. You have your power here and your ground here, and these are going to run straight to your battery. They have this mount. They even send you zip ties. Like they think of everything. You have more mounting hardware, and then you pull this section out, and this mount right here is actually for the circuit control box. So You can see, you can line your holes up, or you can do it like this. However you want to do it. You can also mount different things on here. It's however you want to do this. I'm probably not going to use these. I'm probably just going to mount this on the side of my fender underneath the hood. But now that we have everything unboxed, let's get a plan set in stone of how we're going to wire everything. Okay, after some planning and figuring out how we're going to run the wires through the firewall, Ford actually has the coolest thing I've ever seen. They've got this little plastic piece right here that mounts up to the cab right there and actually goes inside the truck, and then there's a little piece of foam on the other side that you pull out. So we're going to drill a little hole in this and try and fit a grommet on it. So we'll probably drill right here on one of the sides to fit our little wire through. The fuse panel I'm actually going to mount on top of the normal fuse panel. So we're going to drill like a little hole right here for a bolt to go through one of these. Try and mount it something like this. I don't want a screw to hit the top of, oh sorry, you guys aren't even seeing. I'm going to mount it something like this. I want it somewhere where it's still accessible, that way I can still run wires to it and I don't have to like uninstall it to run wires to it. So here we can still pop everything up, but at the same time it kind of looks a little factory to an extent, but I just have to find a way that I can run a screw through here and it not hit the fuses underneath. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this section mounted, get this all figured out. Once this is mounted, I'll show you guys from there. But what's cool with this is, since we're gonna have to run an accessory wire, we're already right here at our fuses. So that kind of works out perfect. But I'm gonna get this all mounted up and I'll show you guys the finished product of it. Switch panel is all mounted up. Sorry guys, my hands are a little bit shaky. I don't know what's going on today, but this is one of the side effects I had after COVID, and for whatever reason it's hit me again 2 weeks later. But we got our 2 screws going in. I went right through the center of these fuses and got it all mounted up front and rear. I like that it kind of blends in. It doesn't really stand out. This is going to go straight down and into the fuse panel. This is going to wrap. I'm probably going to run it around this way and back into there so I can hide it back down in here. So this is going to go back that way and back into the truck, and then we're going to have our positive coming off, going around here. I'm going to bring it down around here, over, and then down onto this, and then our negative is going to come over, and I'll probably bring it right around and bring it right up here, because I don't want it just sitting right here and possibly like arc off the truck or something. So I'm going to bring it up and put it on right here, and I want to be able to zip tie the positive to that. I think that'll work out perfect. I'm not going to hook those up until I have everything set up inside though. But now we get to do our accessory fuse. So they send you this inline fuse tap that already has a 5 amp fuse on it. They send you other fuses just in case the fuse you're replacing is bigger than that. But they already send you this, so we're gonna go ahead and find an ignition fuse in there and go ahead and tap it. Now if you guys are wondering how you find an ignition fuse, you read your fuse panel, and normally they have a diagram telling you what goes where, but unfortunately this one does not. Yeah, so this would be in the owner's manual, which I actually do not have. I don't know if the guy got it from, threw it away, or what. So what you can do is you can go on Google and type up the year truck you have, which I have a 1999 Ford F-250 7.3 under hood fuse box diagram. And then right here, Google came in clutch and has one for us. So we want to see what number 1 is. Trailer tow package. What is number 10? 10 is the second from the rear, which has a 25 amp fuse, and it is our auxiliary power socket. So that works out perfect. That's exactly where we are going to tap this. So inside this cover, this is raised right here, and it is hitting the fuse tab because it is a couple inches above it. So I'm gonna come in with a razor blade and trim all this out. Okay, that is all mounted up. I am gonna get some electrical tape and completely cover all this wire with electrical tape so you don't just see red wire sitting there. But I actually really enjoy the way this looks. And our power socket is still on in here. So that's a good sign. That means our accessory wire will be perfectly fine because we can turn on and off the control box inside or the switch panel inside the truck. So now we're going to drill our hole for our extension wire that goes inside the truck. Now this has to be big enough for this cap and all to go through. Now I do have a grommet set, so I am going to put a grommet on this just for some extra weather protection, so I'm not having any extra water go inside the truck. But I am going to use a step bit to drill out this hole, and what will be nice is in the future if I ever need to run a wire inside the truck, I can just pick another spot on here and drill it through there. So let's get to it. Okay, so now I have the wire ran into the truck. I don't know if you guys can see that. Have it ran in there. Have it coming up into the dash right here. And I'm going to be mounting the panel right here. So then wire's gonna come down right across here and right in there. So set you guys up. I'm gonna get it configured how I want it. I could drill a hole in the dash, I understand that, guys, and completely hide the wire. I wanna keep this interior as perfect as I possibly can, which includes not drilling holes in it. So that's the whole reason I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Don't hate somewhere else. Oh, you have to be kidding me. Oh. I ran the wire backwards. That's aggravating as heck. Oh, guys, apparently the wire has to be ran a certain way. The plugs are different on each end. Nice. All right, a few minutes later, we are connected. This is all connected in here. Wires ran through the firewall, through the grommet. I am going to put some silicone on it. I don't know if you guys can see in here, but even with the grommet on there, you can still see some light through it, which means moisture, soot, whatever can come through it, bugs, anything. So I am going to put some silicone on that once I get everything exactly where I want it. But now we have to run our power and our ground. Oof, I don't know if this power wire will be long enough to do what I want. I don't think it's going to be. No, I'm going to have to run it. I have to run it exactly from here across the backside to it. Just there isn't enough for me to go the route I want. Damn it. Okay, so the only thing I am not a fan of is how short this damn wire is. I mean, like, you have maybe 2 foot, so like you have nowhere you can really run that. I'm running it from here. I wanted to run it down across the front of here and then meet with this harness and come over, because then I could zip tie the fuse to the harness, but I can't even do that. Really the only place I could even mount it would be right here, and I'm not screwing a fuse into my airbox. I think that is tacky as can be, so it's just gonna have to look jank and just be dangling there. There's nothing else I can do unless I were to mount the fuse panel like right up here somewhere, and there's not really anywhere good to mount it there. So I think that's the best place for the fuse panel. Just this wire isn't very long. Now you can get other wire, because all this is just screwed in and tapped. So I mean, you could get, I believe this is like 6 gauge. Yeah, I think it's like 6 gauge wire. I mean, you could buy your own 6 gauge wire and then run it how you want and just get your own connectors and everything, which I think I'm gonna end up doing that, because I do not like the way this looks, and I really want my engine bay on this truck to be super clean. So for the time being, it's just gonna run like this and just look like that. But in the future, I am going to order a roll of 6 gauge wire, positive and negative. The negative will probably work better, as it looks to be the same length, and the negative is on this side, so that'll work better in that case. But as for the negative, or the positive I mean, I'm gonna have to order some more wire, which isn't a downfall. It's not something I'm very happy about, because I mean, these switch panels are not cheap. So I mean, I'll just throw a little bit more wire in there, but hey, That's the first complaint I've had out of this. Everyone always focuses on the negative. It's the very first complaint I've had. Everything else has been fantastic. So, you guys saw me run the positive wire. I'm gonna go ahead and run the negative wire the same way. Get it all hooked up, and then we'll mount our light bar so we can test it. Okay, so in this box, we have our mount instructions. They send you with a sticker, styrofoam. We have one mount, we have our second mount, and then we have our pods. These don't require any type of crazy wiring or anything like that. You just have your standard positive and negative. You have your mounting hardware. As simple as that. Doesn't take anything crazy. So how these work is you have your mount. It slides in the back like so. And it's nice because Auxbeam sends you with every single thing you need to get this all wired up. You don't have to do anything fancy or anything like that. They send you absolutely everything you need. And just like that, we have one mount all together. And now you can flip these around, so like you can tell this is kind of angled. So on a flat surface it's going to be pointing down unless you angle it up a little bit. But we have that one done. We're going to do this one the same exact way. Alright, both of these pods are ready. Let's go get them set up on the front. Okay, I'll just say I didn't mount them here because it stuck out in front of the truck, like all the way out, and it just looked like crap. So then I saw these holes and I mounted one here, and it looked good, but it also kind of looked tacky. So this is where they ended up. I'm gonna have to adjust them at night, but I think I got them pretty good. I really want these because we're going on a 5-hour road trip in about a week and a half, and my headlights are booty crust and I can't see anything out of them, so I really need something I can see out of. So I'm gonna get a wire ran for these, get it ran to the fuse panel, get it all wired in, see if these things work or not. Okay, wires are ran. I ran it across the bottom of the bumper over here, up behind the grill right here, and it comes out right here with the windshield washer fluid hose. I wrapped it all the way around it to keep it nice and tight to it. I could have put some wire loom on it, but this not having wire loom on it wouldn't have blended in. So I just did that. Still doesn't blend in with the red wire, but then it comes up, and then it goes across the back side over here, comes back around, and comes right into here. Now, before any of you guys are like, Aaron, you ran everything right here, how are you going to access your fuse panel? I have left excess wire for a reason. I can still open the fuse panel. I can still access all my fuses. So if something were to happen, I can still open this and change my fuses. So now, let's come over here. Go to our fuse panel. And then, oh. Okay. So this was already on. When these lights right here are on, that means it's off. So this is off. This is on. Well, it would be cool if this had like a timer where it shut off or something. So one thing I was reading in the manual, I don't know if you guys can tell how lit up this is, but there's this sensor right here, and it's actually dimmed by the light. So if it's dark outside, this will dim so it's not blinding you. So it just dimmed itself. And then move your finger and it lights back up. So that's pretty cool. So we're gonna press number 1 and go check out our new pods. They kind of have like a bluish tint to them. I can tell you now, this one's gonna have to come up just a little bit. That should be good. So I'm not gonna be able to adjust them or anything until at night. So I'll pick you guys back up then. So I haven't put on any of the stickers yet, but go right here, press our power button, and as we can see, pods lighting up out in front. They have like a little bit of a bluish tint to them, but I did drive with them last night and they do help out a lot with not being able to see out of these headlights. So we're gonna run up to the store real quick and I'll get some true dark driving footage for you guys on the way home. Alright, so this is with the headlights and the pods on. If we turn the pods off, or the headlights off, this is all pods. As you can tell, these things are pretty damn bright for just 2 pods. And we do have street lights on here, so it's not pitch black outside. But for just being 2 pods, that makes a big difference. I ended up not even putting a light bar on here. Kind of realized I didn't really need it, and I didn't want to just have a whole bunch of lights hanging off the front of the truck. But this is pods, and this pods off, back on, headlights on, headlights off. They definitely make a really big difference. And like I said, guys, everything will be linked down in the description below. Go down, check it out. Auxbeam has LED bulbs for your truck. They've got different style headlights, pods, light bars, switch panels, you name it, they probably have it, guys. So go, just click the link, go check out Auxbeam, what all they have to offer. Like I said, I've been using Auxbeam products for years now, even before I was even in contact with Auxbeam. You can go back on my channel and watch the original videos of me putting Auxbeam bulbs in my truck that I still have to this day. I still have a set of 9005 Auxbeam high beam LED bulbs. So if you guys want any of their products, they definitely last. I've had those bulbs for 5 years now, and they still work to this day. But go down, check out all the links in the description. Go check out their website. While you're down there, drop a like on this video. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.